Hi everyone, this is Shumanto here again on behalf of Codon with a brand new video. As you all know, in the recent past, the team Codon has truly not been able to post videos regularly, and for that I have been truly overwhelmed by the questions and queries I received that why there is a delay in posting the videos. And thank you all from the bottom of my heart for your queries, and that gives a motivation to create more videos for you. That matters. Okay, so well, today we will be discussing another interesting topic regarding ABAP on cloud or Steampunk. Okay, as we all know, in Steampunk, it's very clumsy to, if I may say so, it's very difficult to enter data in a table that you create on ABAP on cloud. Okay, it's not that you directly go and have a sim30 and create a TMG and enter data into it. Okay, earlier in the earlier days of Steampunk, we had to write a whole class and write down the insert statement there. So, and after that, gurus like Thomas Jung and others, okay, they have posted a very innovative and very educative videos um, to post JSON data, to load JSON data, and they clearly call it out that it's not an ETL tool that you can expect it to load loads of data, thousands of rows into it, but it still works. Okay, so that's fine. I do not disagree. I don't have the locus standi to disagree with the fact that um, JSON is a very much readable, comprehensible, and widely accepted format. Okay, but still, as an ABAPer, we have a inherent propensity to use CSVs. Okay, so today we'll be discussing how to load data into a Steampunk table that we create out of an CSV file that we had. The file structure and the table structure has to match. Okay, you have to be a bit careful about that before loading, and if it doesn't match, or we have actually came up with a UI. Okay, after taking the cues from the gurus like Thomas Jung and all, they have created and showed us the way how to move ahead with this. Okay, we just actually incorporated the facility to use CSV and load it in the table. So the thanks goes to the gurus, ABAP gurus, and we will be taking their cues to tweak this and use the CSV file to load data into the Steampunk. So that's in a nutshell that we are going to discuss today. So let's jump into the video. Thank you. Hi everyone, welcome to this section of the video. As stated earlier, that we will be discussing here insertion of data into a Steampunk custom table out of a CSV file that we have. Okay, so as you can see on my screen that I have already logged on to my SAP BTP trial cockpit. Okay, so and I have a CSV like this. Okay, so if I use the CSV, just a sec, it looks like this. Okay, so it's having a client field, username, identifier, the OTP, the recovery code, first name, last name, department, and location. Okay, so and it has 5 rows. Okay, so this table, this CSV is to mimic the table. The structure has to mimic the table, including the client. Okay, just for clarity. Okay, you can all, after going through the code and understanding the piece of code fully, you can always tweak it to your needs, and you can handle the client field in a much better way, okay, in your code. So that is all about the CSV file that we had. Okay, okay, great. So now get into the real steampunk now. Okay, here we are in the Eclipse. Okay, so we are copying this URL and we are pasting it to complete the logon procedure. Okay, so hopefully I'll be logging in soon. Yeah, okay. So whole idea is how actually we are going to have this facility. Okay, the idea is to create an HTTP service. Okay, so HTTP service is kind of a REST web service. Okay, you are creating it. As because it's an HTTP service, you will see some HTML codes. Okay, so and that will be triggered from your ABAP code that you write in ABAP on Cloud. So actually you are creating a class that displays you a HTML code. Inside that you have to load your CSV and it will again come back into the ABAP code. Okay, and you will be inserting the data. Okay, as because it's an HTTP service, okay, it will have get method and post method. So normally when you fire a HTTP service, by default it takes the get method and it returns you an HTML code. So once you have the HTML code, okay, then you carry on with your operations, selecting the CSV file and then press the upload button. It will again come back to the HTTP service via post method and the data will be inserted. Okay, fine. So now let's see this is my favorite custom package. Okay, and here I have the provision of creating a database table. Okay, so I can always go and create a database table. Okay, so let's G tab CSV. Okay, so description test tab for CSV data upload. Okay, if I go next, it will ask me to choose a transport. As you all know, I'll press finish. In case if you do not familiar with the table creation, so this table creation in ABAP on Cloud or Steampunk comes with a very helpful initial syntaxes for you. You can always carry on with that. Okay, so now what I will do is I have already the client field and it's a key field. Okay, now I will add another key field, and from where I am going to have my field list is this. I'll open with Microsoft Excel and let's see. So if you see, this is the field list. Okay, header. Okay, so I have already client, so next field is username. So I'll copy it and I will go to the Steampunk and I will do it this. Okay, like this. ABAP. For simplicity, we are not involving any data type and all. You can always create a data type and give it here as well. So ABAP care, okay, you can give it username 10, not null, okay, just like this. So you come here and you copy rest of them, and one by one you just create your table. I know you people are quite conversant with this, but just to start from the scratch, I'm just keeping this part in the video. Okay, so next field is identifier. I will also keep this as key because it sounds like an ID. So the rest of the thing I will put as ABAP dot char, as because it's a key. I will also put as 5. The rest of the fields should not be the key, so I'm just keeping them like this and entering the other fields. Okay, ABAP dot char. OTP, I will, if you see this, it's 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 4 this ID. This is the OTP, right? 1 2 1 2 3 4. Okay, 1 2 4. Yeah, character 4 OTP. Okay, so I'll put it as char 4 as well. So that is ABAP dot char. Okay. Recovery code, I'll put 15. First name, I'll put ABAP dot char 40. And last name, I'll put ABAP dot char 40. Department, I'll choose ABAP dot char 20. Okay, and finally the location, ABAP dot char, okay, 20. So it says this identifiers contain special characters, and identifiers containing special characters must be in quotes and all. So I think if you see this, the name, if you go by this first name, last name, okay, so let's change this to first underscore name, just to mimic for simplicity. Last name, okay, so you have changed the name to first name, last name, this, okay. So I also saved it, and I have given changing the name to first name here, last name here, department is fine, what is that, department. If you take any other tables, okay, so we are fine. Why this department is being treated as okay, so we are good. Okay, so this is the table, okay, we are trying to create, and we have been able to figure out the key fields and other stuff. Okay, so I'll just go for a contains no errors. Okay, and I will press the activate button. It should have executed, and it has executed properly, and the table is there. If you right click on it and open with data preview, you will see nothing in this. Okay, this is another table. Okay, so I will go to this. This is my table. Okay, open with data preview, and you see there is nothing in it. Okay, that's fine. Good. So now what we need to do is, as I said, that the idea is to create a class. Okay, and out of that class we will be creating a HTTP service. Okay, so you know how to create a class. Okay, in the source code library there are plenty of classes. Okay, you can always go new ABAP class, give the class name, description, okay, super class if any, okay, interface if any, and if you go on doing this, it will give you a template, and on that template, as you all know, you can create your code. So we have created already a similar class like this. Okay, so this is the class. Okay, so this just to discuss this class, this is a class that has an interface HTTP service extension. Okay, and if you have any data, okay, public data, you have to, and methods of course you have to list them. So if you see, we have a HTML get HTML, and we have a post HTML. Okay, and the main method that actually triggers this web service is this handle request. So whenever you are triggering this web service, okay, there is a request response part. Okay, so whenever you are triggering this web service, whenever you will be creating a web service out of this, okay, you will get to know. Okay, let's see the web service a bit. These are HTTP web services, and here is the web service. Okay, if you double click on the web service that I created out of this class, it has a URL. Okay, and I think the rest part looks similar to you, right? I mean, just like in WebDyn Pro or any other OData services and all, SICF part this part resembles the SICF part of it. Okay, I mean, the Internet Communication Framework of SAP. Whenever we start the same thing, whenever we use an OData service or something, okay, we end up having something like this in the SICF. Okay, so it's same. Okay, on the only differentiating factor is it is in Steampunk. Okay, it's not your on-prem. Okay, that's fine. This is your this is your port. Okay, and this is the server name. Okay, so everything is same. Okay, so whenever we created this web service, we actually had to provide this handler class, and if you see closely, this handler class is nothing but this class, this ABAP JSON, this class. Okay, so whenever you trigger this, okay, it actually comes to this handle request, because you are requesting something, requesting a resource from a server. Okay, so it comes to this handle request. Okay, and here you differentiate the mode of this request. I mean, how the end user is trying to access it. They are requesting resources, but what is the mode? Mode can be two types. Okay, one is get and another is post. By default, it is always get. So whenever you are triggering it without any specific mode, by default it will be get mode. Okay, so whenever we are also triggering it, it comes down to this get mode. Okay, and we are getting the get method, okay, how or mode, and then if it is get, okay, then we are triggering the response. This response get HTML is nothing but the UI that you see. If you get into this get HTML method, that you will get to see that we are basically coding a very comprehensive JavaScript and HTML code, and we are sending it back to the browser. Okay, how? Okay, this is the get HTML method. We are basically fully configuring the each and every line of this HTML that we are going to see, and inside that we have a form. Okay, and form has a method post, and URL is this. What is this URL? This URL is nothing but the URL that you have, the same URL. You are treating this URL as a variable and use it in the get HTML method, okay, via JavaScript. And you have a text area, input file type, everything, and you have JavaScript function to read the CSV and other stuff. So what we are doing is, we are basically, as I said, thanks to the ABAP gurus like Thomas Jung, because they have showed this way, and we are just tweaking it further. Okay, so, and of course, to admit that this is a very simplistic UI that we have come up with. Okay, the original UI that the ABAP gurus have created, they have much more facilities, but this has just only the main functional parts. Okay, so do not judge this UI I mean from look and feel wise. Okay, this is just to provide a skeleton, functional skeleton. Okay, so that's the JavaScript and HTML code that we are building, and we are returning it. So whenever this get HTML is called at the get call of this HTTP service, okay, so it returns the HTML, and it set text means setting the text to the browser. Okay, so whenever you use a get method, you end up having this UI, and whenever you have the post method, okay, you are actually having it JSON. Okay, so now you would ask that why JSON? You are talking about CSV, so why you are dealing with JSON? Very good question and good observation as well. As I said, the basic cue is from the gurus. Okay, so they actually built a very simple and sweet tool to upload JSON. Okay, what we are doing is, we are uploading a CSV and converting it to a JSON. Okay, so as an user, you can see that you are uploading a CSV, it is getting converted into a JSON, and it is getting fed into the table. So this is how we reuse the existing part. The main part painstakingly has been taken care by the gurus. All kudos to them. Okay, it's a fantastic learning. Okay, but what we from code on we have managed to do is just tweak a bit. We are actually reusing the part the gurus have painstakingly created. Okay, so we are uploading a CSV, we are converting it to JSON via JavaScript. Okay, and you can upload it. So now the point is, from an ABAPer, you will ask that is it mandatory to be that much flexible and that much experienced enough to in JavaScript, so that you can go and learn JavaScript and then tweak this part of converting the CSV into JSON and then upload it? So is it mandatory to know JavaScript that much and do it? No. Okay, the ubiquitous ChatGPT comes to your rescue. Okay, if you see, if you go to ChatGPT, I have asked ChatGPT some basic questions. Okay, like this: get me an HTML and JavaScript code containing a form with a text area to upload CSV file and convert it as JSON and display in the text area. Okay, okay, and the mighty ChatGPT has come up with this code. Okay, so I have reused this code. You can just go and copy it. You don't have to be a JavaScript expert. Okay, from an ABAP, as you all know, from code on, what we do is we always tie the knots. Okay, you have to know bits and pieces of both the worlds you are going to connect. Okay, and the relevance of codon is codon actually helps you make the bridge. Okay, how to handle the inputs from another world and get that input functional in another world. Okay, so that's the idea. So we have actually built on this code that is provided by ChatGPT itself. So now going back to this, we have actually used this part of the code and made some changes here and there, and we have written, I mean, these are the things we have actually uh, made slight tweak. Okay, whenever you copy this code, remember one thing: everything will come as per the new ABAP syntax. Everything will come under this pipe symbol as part of the string. But remember one thing: whenever you are dealing with a JavaScript, second bracket open and second bracket close, okay, you need to escape it with the escape character. Okay, as we have done in normal JavaScript, it will be direct this one, second bracket open, but whenever you are enclosing it in ABAP string, that you have to escape it. Okay, and these are for readability for your slash n means new line. Okay, so, and you can comment it if you want something like this as well. Okay, so this is the JSON file reader. Okay, and for CSV loader we have this one. I was showing that file by mistake, but this is the actual thing. Okay, if you see this, we have same thing. We actually CSV to JSON converter here, and the earlier was an example and this is the actual thing. You have the same get HTML here. Okay, you have the same get HTML code here, and it comes, as I showed, it comes from this ChatGPT only. Okay, so here you just follow the HTML rules. Okay, you have a form. Okay, and here you have two things: you load a CSV file input. Okay, you have a file input type. Okay, inside the form you have a button that actually converts the CSV to JSON, as I was talking about. Okay, and then you have a area, okay, text area, to view the converted results. Okay, this is the JSON output. Okay, and then you have the area to enter the SAP table and all. Okay, and inside the convert to CSV, we are using this JavaScript thing. Okay, these are all taken from the ChatGPT. You don't have to be an expert on this. Okay, and you have some other thing, beautiful things build up as well, that if the table is not there, okay, you have some validations as well. Okay, table is not there and all. Okay, so these are the things, and we have two parts: one is append and one is refresh. Okay, so let's see this ABAP CSV loader. This is the original URL. Okay, so if you click on this URL, you are having this. As I said, don't judge it by look and feel. Okay, just it is just a, functional piece of UI. Okay, so now it asks to choose a CSV file. Okay, I am choosing this. This is the one, CSV. Convert to JSON. Okay, if I press this button, I have the JSON converted. Okay, thanks to ChatGPT. Okay, now here our tweak comes into play. First, let's enter the table name that we created. What was the table name that we created just now? Okay, dictionary. It was ztab CSV. Okay, so inside ztab CSV, and I am choosing the append. Refresh will refresh the table. Okay, clear all, flush out all the data, and now it should upload. Okay, so now let's see, and this is fully dynamic. Okay, you just need to take care of the table structure and the file structure. Okay, so let's click the upload button. I have kept a breakpoint for you, okay, just for better understanding. So it's a breakpoint and it has come to this part. Okay, so your URL is this and all. So now if you see, it is coming under the post method, because the HTML that I showed, that has the URL and method post, if you remember. If you go to this, okay, again, and if you see, it has URL and it has method post. So whenever you pressing the submit button, the upload button, okay, the upload button, it is type submit. So this form will be submitted, and the post method, as you see, it will be, let me see, okay, this is the debugger perspective, and if you want to directly go to this, you can always double click, right click, and toggle the breakpoint and all. Okay, and by default, external breakpoint and session breakpoints, both are covered here. Okay, again, for your clarity, there is, you can always refresh the breakpoint activation if you want to put any extra breakpoint after execution and all. So external breakpoints works perfectly. Okay, so now you have just the control here as well. Okay, so F5 you can move ahead with this, and if you want to go to, it has come down to a inner method, and if you want to directly go press F8, okay, you can always go to the next statement. Okay, here you are having the data in, how the things are, variables, you can see here. If you hover your mouse over a variable, then you will have the data. So if you double click on it, you have the values, okay, getting fetched, okay, dereferenced, all dynamic actually. Okay, you have the individual rows. Okay, and if you go to this individual rows, you have the values here, if you see the client and all. Okay, so as because it's a new thing, whatever we are doing is, if you have a look at the thing, this is a JSON that we created out of the CSV. But the point is, this is an anonymous array. We are not putting anything here. Okay, from the file itself, it fetches the full array, but for reading purpose, okay, whenever you are parsing the JSON, you should have a name to the array. It's very clumsy to handle an anonymous array. Okay, so for that reason, we are appending a name to the array in the JSON that we have just extracted out of the CSV. Okay, so we are going to this, and we are assigning component data of this. Okay, so that's, and one more thing, how to read this. If you see the validation and all, we'll come to later part. To read the JSON into an data, ABAP data, okay, you have to use this class UI to CL JSON and deserialize. Okay, and you have this data, and it's a dynamic thing, and you can handle it the way it should, assign data component to this and all. So after this, sorry for the comments, okay, you are basically creating a dynamic internal table. Okay, you have the table name. If you go to this, you have the table name. Okay, and this was part of the form. Okay, so first of all, you are reading this. First of all, if you go there now, this was the part I was talking about. Whenever you have the JSON, okay, whenever you have the JSON, you are appending this. You are naming the anonymous array, and of course it is data. And after that, and this is the part where you read the thing. You are reading the whole JSON that came in here. This is the JSON that came in here. You actually read this to JSON old variable. You appended the data name data to the anonymous array, and along with that you read two things. One is the table name, another is the mode, the refresh or append. Okay, we have chosen append. If you see, if I go here, it's append. Because we are trying to insert. Okay, and this is the table name as I showed. So now here we are creating dynamic tables and work areas. Okay, and this is the validation. Okay, if the table name is not valid, it will return you this message. Okay, so we will get to know this part. We will execute this with the wrong table name and see how it behaves. So now on the success part, it has trying to read the array as we have named it data, and then we are basically trying to read the components. Okay, well, what are the components? Okay, if you see this LT comp, okay, if you see this LT comp, it has components like this client. Okay, then it has username, just all the fields. Okay, it has the name. Okay, identifier. Okay, so you have the components here. And if you go on like this, now I am pressing F8. Okay, it is trying to move ahead. If I go here, it is checking the mode. If it is refresh, it is basically deleting it. If it is append, it is modifying it. Okay, so now I go there, it's modifying the table structure. If you see the table structure, in the table structure you had the data one by one. Okay, for clarity of how actually we did this, I'll paste this code. Okay, and just buzz me with your email ID. I will send this code to you. Okay, or I'll post it in a code on website page, and we will send you the rest of the code. But why I'm telling this, I know after seeing the code you will be able to understand, but just for the newbies, as I said, that I'm just trying to explain them what we are doing and how we are doing. So we have successfully inserted the data, and if size hours is 0, we are setting the status to HTTP OK, and reason is table updated successfully. This is the response text. Okay, so now if I press F8, finally the debug is gone, and we should have received the proper message. So okay, message is fine. Let's see if we have going to the project explorer. Okay, let's see Open with data preview. Yeah, we have the value, okay, just like as we wanted. So this is how we are just using the basic things that already been given to us by the gurus, ABAP gurus. They have taught us the basic things. Now it's time to take up that basic things and use it in a better purpose, for more refined purposes. Okay, so this is how we actually use an CSV file and converting it to a JSON and insert into a table. The gurus has earlier taught us upload a JSON, insert it into a table. So now what we have done is we have read an CSV, converted it to a JSON and inserted into the table. That's the only thing, that's the 2 pennies that Codon had to add. So this is it. This is how we can upload a CSV file. And another thing, just to see this part, that if you go back and just give this convert to JSON again, and this is the wrong name, CSV1 that we have given, and if I upload, it should return you. It is again come to this thing, breakpoint, F8. The debugger is terminated, as you can see. Let's go to the data object could not be created, the type JSV does not exist. Okay, this is the validation as well. Okay, so this is the way you can use a CSV file to upload data into a Steampunk. And once you have this table, ready, this is Z tab CSV, you can always go on creating CDS views, view entities, and all, create apps and everything. So this makes life simple, and this works for dynamic tables. Okay, you can create a CSV on your own in your computer, just create a same table structure in the Steampunk, use this code, just create a class, okay, and put this part of the code there, okay, and upload it in the table and go on creating your apps. Okay, so happy ABAPing, okay, and hope it adds some values to you, and we will be coming up with new interesting topic of how to connect with WhatsApp. Steampunk app will talk to a WhatsApp, okay, via Twilio. Okay, so that's the new video in the offing, so hopefully you will like it. And we are also trying very hard to place online calls from Steampunk apps. Okay, it's all about handling APIs. Okay, so it's a world of APIs. Okay, so just an ABAPer now will handle APIs efficiently. That's it. Okay, that's my take on this new ABAP and new SAP world, and that is my 2 cents for the newbies who are joining this ABAP bandwagon. Okay, hopefully you like this video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.